Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter, and you're listening to the Third Fleet Podcast. This is episode 60, and you know that we had to get together ASAP to talk about the news that just dropped for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Rurikhan, how are you doing?
My voice is completely and utterly spent. I am running on fumes. I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep this evening, and we're going to stay up pretty late to record the Third Fleet Podcast. But the show must go on because we finally had the, what do they call it? Digital event? The March digital event for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. I am super hyped. It was a really good event. You had one complaint about the event. I saw your tweet. Why don't we start with that?
So they actually had the survey that they had tweeted out from the official account, I think it was. But it was like a digital survey just saying, hey, what did you enjoy? Did you enjoy blah, blah, blah? And they said, do you have any things that you could have been better? And I'm like, yeah, there's one thing. Why is it Yozo, like I love Tsujipi, like he's a god, but come on, like we've got the new directorial debut by Suzuki-san. And he's not even allowed to be the face of this. I don't know. Maybe it was his decision. Maybe he's camera shy. But like, dude, you're the director of the game. Get on the camera. We want to hear from you. So
yeah, exactly.
I want to say a little. I was actually quite disappointed that we didn't get the director sort of walking us through everything. It felt a little. Maybe they're just concerned, because this is the first real kickoff of the marketing campaign, so to say, and they want to use a recognizable face, but you know what? The same thing, backfired with something like Soul Sacrifice, right? Like everyone thinks that Inafune directed it, but he didn't, because they just didn't use the face of the actual director. So I was a little disappointed by that, to say the least. So I'm hoping the next event or news drop that they do, that they're able to get him in there and start talking to us, because I'd love to hear it from him.
Okay, are you taking notes, Capcom? Good. Okay.
I don't know. Do you not care, or do you agree? Or
No. I completely agree. I would like to see the face of the director, but particularly because with Rise, we saw Ichinose whenever they were announcing new things for Rise. Ichinose would be up there, but Ichinose had worked on previous. He's been
very well known
that team, so he's very well known. Maybe he is camera shy. Maybe it was his decision. Maybe it was their decision. But it's like, don't be camera shy. Look, nobody's gonna come out and oh my God, who's this guy? It's like, no, it'll be cool.
We're excited for you.
Yeah, exactly. We're excited to see what you're gonna come up with.
Get on camera.
But let's start with the release date, which is obviously one of the most important things coming out of this event. The expansion is coming out on June 30th, 2022. So that is actually significantly earlier than I initially thought. I thought it was going to be August, late summer, but they're coming in a little bit earlier.
I was thinking mid-July actually, to time up with summer break, for students. But yeah, it's like a 3-month marketing campaign, which is actually really great. I mean, I love the whole half a year of excitement and sharing stuff, but 3 months is going to be really intense. It's going to be great.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot for us to talk about pretty much every week, unlike the.
So you've got 3 months to finish Elden Ring, my friend. So
dude,
get on it.
That is going to be so hard. Because I keep getting interrupted and I have to edit, and then you saw the thing that I was doing that people will eventually see if they watch episode 43 of Elden Ring.
Guys, do you hear that?
No, I didn't hear it. Is there an earthquake going on over there?
No, I hear a violin in the background playing sad songs for you right now. I have to.
Oh my God! You actually went there. Oh man, so evil. But the expansion's coming out on June 30th. Just in case anybody is still confused about what is a G rank, what is a base game, the last podcast was entirely dedicated to us talking about that. So you might want to check out Third Fleet Podcast episode 59, where we go into great detail about what is G rank, what is master rank, what is base game, and all of that. But basically, you can expect about at least as many hours as you've played of Rise, probably even more, because they're going to come up with some kind of end game system that they haven't shown us yet. And that's going to be a thing. Now, in order for you to get into the expansion, you'll have to at least complete the quest, Hunter Rank 7 Hub Quest, Serpent Goddess of Thunder.
It's like a weekend?
I mean,
You are really plowing through it.
On Switch right now, you can actually just download the game until the 17th. You can just download and play the game. It's a game trial. You can play the whole game.
Oh, nice.
And whatever progress you make, you can carry over if you then buy the final game. So, I mean, you know,
crazy.
if you really know life it, you could have been, because it was a game trial. Oh, this is only for people that have Nintendo Switch Online though. But it was on game trial since like the 11th, which I don't even remember them making a big deal about it. But it was like a full week that you could have been playing Rise and essentially finishing it if you wanted to. So I'm curious about something that I haven't really had enough time to see, and I know that you were looking up like details on the Japanese website and whatnot. Is there a physical version of this?
I don't think so, because, which I think is actually well, I'm not gonna put my foot in my mouth because I'm gonna upset a lot of people. So, looking at this thing from a collector standpoint and a financial standpoint, it's a very different perspective.
Yeah.
But I believe they said that if you buy the DLC, it's like I mean, obviously everyone's region's gonna be different, but like it's like $40.
They haven't set prices, I don't think.
Yeah,
they did.
Well, in the Japanese direct, they did.
No, they didn't do that in the English one. They didn't give us prices. No. And
Are you
as a matter of
kidding me?
fact, I even went to check up on Steam, and when I checked it wasn't available yet. I don't know if it's available now. Probably by the time
Well,
this
then
podcast is
I will
up.
give you the scoop then.
Yeah, give us the scoop, because if they
Wait,
did
how
say
can
it
they
on
not
the
get the
English-
prices since it's already on pre-order?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like I went to Steam. For starters, the website has links, but I went to Steam and it wasn't there at the time. I don't know if they've updated stuff to.
It's
same now.
4,990 yen, which is like $45 US.
Okay, it's available now on Steam, so I guess I can see it now.
What-
Yeah, it's 40 bones to pre-purchase, 40 euros, which is
$40,
probably
yeah.
one
So
to
it's
one.
like,
And then there's the deluxe edition.
yeah, which is basically Sunbreak plus a bunch of goodies, and I love the drip on that armor. Oh my
Where's
god,
the full version?
that's like
Can't
that's like $55. It's like an additional, $12 to $15 for that deluxe stuff. But they also, I think, sell that stuff after. They'll start selling that as well from once it's released. So if you got the regular edition and you really want to get the deluxe edition kind of like bonus stuff, you can buy that separately later, so it's not a big deal.
That's good.
If you want to get the actual like full game, like you don't have Rise and you want to get Rise and Sunbreak, you can get them together for about $75 in Japan. It's like 7,990 yen.
So that's
So it's like 30. It's like what, like I'm gonna guess 70.
Really?
I think it's like 30 for base, and then it's gonna probably
No,
be
but
cheaper to just buy
you
used
have
and just
to-
buy the DLC.
You have to buy them separately? No, because they said there was a bundle.
No, this,
I don't think they're
maybe
selling
it's
the
late for you
bundle
and
yet.
early for me, but let me say this again in case I said it wrong.
Go ahead.
You could buy the DLC for like $40.
Yes.
You could spend like $12 to $15 more to get the deluxe edition,
Deluxe.
kind of like bonus DLC items. Or if you want to get the digital version of the complete edition, right? So Rise and
Yeah.
Sunbreak as a package, it's going to be like $70. So it's like 30 for base game and 40 for Sunbreak. That's going to come with both the physical package of Rise. Oh, that's the digital version, right? And then there's... Hang on a second. Let me double check. Yeah, then there's the double deluxe set, which is confusing. It's just both Rise and its deluxe DLC, and the Sunbreak with the deluxe cosmetic stuff.
This is confusing.
It is. So basically, Rise had. I hate the fact that they call it deluxe edition because I think it's. I hate the naming because
So
really
the deluxe
it's
edition
just
is
it's a
both of them
special-
together?
Yeah, I mean, deluxe is just saying that you're getting some awesome like special cosmetic stuff, right? It's
Yeah,
not, an
that's usually what it
edition, but-
is.
Yeah, so they had one for Rise, and now they're also having a regular and digital deluxe package for Sunbreak, where you can either get both the games as a digital, or you can get both of them as both the digital version, deluxe editions. So if you want to get all the goodies from a Rise Deluxe, and you want to get the goodies for Sunbreak Deluxe, you can buy them all together for like $80.
That's not available in my store. It must be a Portuguese store thing. I still can't see that. I only have the regular deluxe version. I don't have both games bundled together yet. But it's whatever. So you think it's going to be about $70. People can tell us in the comments what it is right now, because Gaijin's watching it on the Japanese store. I'm watching it on the Portuguese store, and most of our audience is American. So it's not like we're going to be able to give you good info at this point.
And I believe they said that you would get Rise as they were selling. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe they said that for the Switch, they would have a bundle where it's the physical version of Rise, and it comes with the download code for Sunbreak. So I don't think there's going to be an actual physical card for Sunbreak.
I wanted a physical card with both things, because like for collectors, that would be the best thing, actually having a physical disc with both. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's kind of like your options when it comes to actually purchasing it. You can pre-order it right now, but you shouldn't if you don't feel comfortable on it yet. It's whatever. Yeah. But so we have.
I will say this just so we can get the negative out of the way first. But it does mention on the website specifically that this game does not support crossplay or cross saves with other platforms.
Well, I mean that they've said that was not going to happen,
but we knew that.
Yeah, we already knew that. Like that's been public for a long time, because they did they did like a poll where they specifically asked that, and a lot of people were like, yes, crossplay, and they're like, hey, we get it, you guys want crossplay, that's not happening for Sunbreak, but we appreciate the feedback. They said something like that. There was a post that came out about that in the official Monster Hunter account.
Okay.
So. Cool. Basically, the events that are going to be happening that are going to take us to Elgado, according to the digital event, is that we are going to encounter a Lunageron over in the Shrine Ruins. And then Rondine's sister shows up. She pushes the ninja out of the way. What's his name again? Because I forget.
Is it Utsuchi or no?
Utsuchi. I think it is Utsuchi. And she pushes Utsuchi out of the way, and then, she says, oh, this is a royal matter or whatever. And basically that causes her to eventually take us over to Elgado so that we can help out with the 3 lords. So I guess that's one of the first things that I want to ask you. You think they're trying to recapture that whole thing about the Fated 4, because everybody's super obsessed about the Fated 4? So they're like, okay, we're going to make these 3 monsters, and they're going to be the 3 lords, okay?
Yes and no. I mean, I think it goes down to the game design, which we'll talk about when it comes to the Citadel. I think it makes sense the way that they're positioning it. Plus, as a fun bonus, I was thinking about it. Like, I know that the actual flagships are like Magnamalo and Malzeno. Mm-hmm. But if you actually think of like the actual boss monsters, it's 5th generation, so there's 5. There's Narba, Ibushi, Luna, and the other 2, Malzeno and the Golem. King Kong, what's his name?
Garen Golem.
Garen Golem.
Yeah. I like him a lot. I thought he was really cool. But before we jump into monsters, because monsters are going to be super, super cool.
I'm just really curious, though. Like, they said that Elgado is like far distance. They have to take boats to get there. It's on a remote area. Like, how the heck did the Lunageron get all the way to Kamura? Did it like hitch a ride on Rondine's boat or something? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I guess that's going to be part of the mystery. Maybe the secret monster, the Elder Dragon that comes after Malzeno. Maybe he's got teleportation capabilities, and he's just like zoom. He makes portals.
What I'm looking forward to is, what was it, NCH? Doing an animation. You know how they had like when Devil Joe came to
Devil
the new
Joe,
world,
yeah.
They had who was it, Basil or somebody like carrying him the entire way? I'm looking forward to.
Wasn't Devil Joe? He just like jumped up in the air and started blah. He's just like he propelled himself with his breath.
So I can't wait for the Luna version of how it got to Kamura.
He's gonna just like he's gonna get like, you know how in the Pirates of the Caribbean there was the legend that Captain Jack Sparrow used this beard to tie up a couple of turtles. It's gonna be 2 Tetranodons basically swimming. He's gonna be riding 2 Tetranodons all the way to Kimura. No, but
well, go on. Sorry to interrupt.
Like I said, before we get to the actual monsters, I wanted to talk about Elgado. What did you think about Elgado itself, the new village?
That's what you're leading with, really?
Yeah. Why?
The new monster, Elgado. I don't know if you know that joke.
No, I don't. What's that?
On the digital survey, they made a typo and it said, "How do you like the new monster Elgado?"
Good job.
I thought you were gonna lead with characters, not map. That's interesting.
No, I want.
Mind is. I'm in the gutter. I'm thinking Fiorane that is in my head. So
here's the thing, though. The reason I want to lead with that is because I'm super excited about everything, but it's like I want to start with the things that I think most people will maybe feel like it's the least exciting thing. Even though I'm super pumped about Elgado because A, it's a steampunk castle, and B, it's got a roller coaster ride. Did you notice that? It's got like a little roller coaster thing on top, and I'm just like, dude, I want to ride the roller coaster. No excuses, okay?
My hunter. I'm looking forward to the cat mini game. Did you see the little trolley with like the fish and the mining ores that was coming through across the the canteen or whatever? I think we're talking about the same thing probably, but that looks amazing.
Yeah. No, we're not talking about the same thing, but it's like that's another thing.
Elgado though looks awesome.
Yeah, Elgado looks amazing. It's got like some steampunk vibes to it mixed with a medieval castle. And that to me, I was just like, dude, this is amazing. This looks friggin' awesome. I can't wait to see what everything looks like.
You stop me if I keep trying to go back to characters because that's what I'm really interested in. But I was gonna say it's got a really neat kind of like less established, more like the Misfits kind of like this is just like a team that's out there doing their thing kind of. There's like a roughness to it which I really like.
Yeah, because it's a very small village. I mean, I keep calling it a village. It's technically speaking an outpost, whatever.
An outpost,
but it's like it's very small. When they pan the camera over, it's like this tiny little thing. They haven't even showed us what the gathering hall looks like. So I'm very curious.
My guess, I could be wrong, but my guess is that the rural knights set up at the outpost to investigate what's causing the surrounding monsters to become violent. And so my guess is that as you progress in the game, the town is still being built almost like Estera or Celiano, and I can imagine that it'll because there's a lot of construction going on in the
you
trailer.
You think we'll actually see
expand.
It change? Oh, that'd be cool. So. Have they ever done that in a Monster Hunter game?
Well, Celiano was like that, right? I mean, in Estera, right? Didn't they? Like they slowly built it up. It's not like a huge build up, but
Yeah. They did build up Celiana a little bit. You're right. So yeah, it makes sense. But Celiana was the first one though, right? I don't think they've ever done that in a Master Rank / G Rank expansion where you actually see the village expanding. I mean, we've seen farms expanding.
Dundorma in 4 Ultimate technically had. It was like a beaten up town, and you go in there, and they're trying to repair and bring the town back up to snuff, and there's lots of new facilities that get added as you progress through the story.
Okay, so I never played Ultimate 4 Ultimate up until that point. So yeah, but okay, so this has been something that they've been doing for a while. Then GU didn't do anything like that.
Aesthetic is didn't do anything for GU.
Yeah, but the aesthetic is freaking glorious. Yeah,
it reminds me of that awesome town in Monster Hunter Stories 2. Like it's got this like new frontier type of sailor type of feeling, but it also has a mix in of like medieval knights and royal and like nobility. It's really great. Like for someone who loves, like you're saying, pirate stuff. Like this kind of feels like we're in like the pirate lord's outpost, right? And it's just these badass knights that are running around trying to take care of business.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So they show us a command post, which was very reminiscent to me of the command table back in Estera. It's very similar. You have like a board, you have a table, and I'm guessing that characters are going to gather over there every now and then to kind of like inform you on the progress of the story and whatnot. That was pretty cool. Then one of the things that disappointed me, I don't want dango in this place.
You wanted a new type of food?
Yeah, I wanted a new type of food because, I mean, look, our hunter only eats dango Like, he's gonna get diabetes. All right, it's like it's just too much sugar. We need some friggin' protein. All right. And meanwhile, it seems like Yomogi's over here setting up like friggin' McDonald's, setting up franchises.
It's a kitty cats. Yeah, setting up a second shop.
Yeah, it's McDonald's. It's McDonald's, but with dongos, and I'm not about that. Like, I really wanted to have a different canteen because I thought the dongos were really cool the first time you do it, but now I wanted I want meat and freaking potatoes and bread and just like a really big friggin' meal like we used to get.
I don't know if they're gonna do it, but you know what I would love? I would love if they took the same idea of the dango, but there was also like a shish kebab. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, it's shish kebab.
That would be awesome. Like, you imagine, like I said, dango, you have it's the same visual thing, but you have like meat and vegetables and stuff like that. Like that, if they had both, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would like to see that because, like, look, dango's funny and all, but it's like
we've had enough dango, right?
We've had enough dango. Like, I want something else. But
we want Elgado to have its own culture.
Yeah, exactly. So
but
that was
I do love the
complaints.
fact that they're big fans of Komoda stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
Did you notice Midoto's drawing? Just
I saw your
in
tweet.
the middle of the town.
She has one of Minoto's drawing, the quest ma'am, the quest damsel, they call her, I think.
Yeah.
But before that, the room. How'd you like? At least I think it's the room. The one of the first pictures that they show you. The second picture, if you're looking at the Elgado outpost, they show you what I think is going to be a room because there's like a palico there that's supposedly like probably the dude who manages the room. There's a box. It looks like the back of a ship. So I think that your room is essentially a ship.
Hang on, I gotta pull this up. I didn't notice.
Dude, because like I looked at that and as someone who's Portuguese, my ancestors were like the best when it came to ships and all of that stuff. I'm like, dude, this looks awesome.
Yeah, so I've been wanting to ask you because if you remember for when Rise came out or before it came out, the theory I had was that they would be loosely basing Rondine off of Portugal because just the historical significance between Japan and Portugal, and the cultural exchanges, and that's where they got all like their math and science books and like that. There's they said no to every country but Portugal was allowed to come in. So do you get vibes at that time? You were saying you didn't necessarily, but are you getting any Portugal vibes from this?
The top of the castle is like way too high fantasy with those roofs and stuff like that. So that's not like in Portugal. It's like, nah, dude, our stuff is just like blocky. No, you don't have
flat blocks.
It's like
Legos.
This
Lego
fancy
castle.
stuff. So it's like, apart from the rooftops, yeah, I could see some Portuguese vibes in here for sure. But obviously we didn't have steampunk back then, which they have a lot of like steam stuff going on and fires and whatnot. But yeah, the thing though is the ship is very similar to Portuguese caravels that we used to have at the time. So, there are definitely inspirations there. But then again, a lot of people copied our caravels, so they could have gotten inspiration somewhere else. But we were the ones who made it, all right? We were the ones who perfected it. We, the Portuguese people. You understand me? There's going to be...
How about, did you see the new icon of Elgado, the ship? I know the official Monster Hunter Twitter changed to it as well, but there's an official emblem of the big ship.
Was that the thing symbol in the back of the dude? Yeah, I saw it. I was, it was not
it's
very
all over
good in
town,
focus, but yeah, I saw it. I saw the
I'm looking at the
emblem.
trailer. Where are you talking about the new room? I don't see
the room is not in the trailer. It's in the website.
Oh.
It's the second image. If you go to new characters and you start scrolling down, it takes you to the Elgado outpost. It's the second image there. Do you see it?
Oh, and we got Jeeves. I'm just gonna call him Jeeves.
Yeah.
He appears in the trailer. He's like a butler. I love it.
Yeah, he's just like walking around with his little glasses and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think the room looks fantastic because I mean, in World when we had the option to go to like the Omega Suite or whatever, I was like, no, I'll take the cozier one, and the cozier one is kind of similar to this because you had an aquarium and stuff, and I was like, no, I'll take the cozy room. Thank you very much. I don't need to live like a king. Great. But I think
there's a really cool icon too. There's like this emblem, and it looks like a shield on the top, but it also looks like an anchor for a ship. and it mixes in like stuff from like the guild and all that stuff. That's really cool looking.
Yep.
I like that. That's whoever's doing the design, logo, and emblem stuff is just. Mwah,
It looks friggin' fantastic. So I'm super pumped about. Like the town itself is something that I'm super pumped about. I hope that they do something with the little rails that you have going there, and that there's like some kind of just like roller coaster ride that you can go on just for a little bit, like sweet. I think that'd be cool, a little activity to do. But also the Palico, the train, like you said, it's so charming when he's like coming out and choo choo. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, so Elgado, I'm pretty pumped for it. I'm super excited. And then we have new allies that they presented to us.
Actually, quick note about.
Go ahead.
Before we go in deep into the Citadel, but like one thing I want to note that excited a lot, and me as well, is that we have like the village, right? And we go to areas that we know are surrounding the village.
Yeah.
Like we had the Misty Peaks with Kamura, but you didn't see Kamura in the background or anything, right? Like, so you knew that you were nearby it, but you didn't see it necessarily. But like, it feels like you're literally outside the Citadel this time, because you've got like, you can run up the castles and the ruins and all that stuff. I love how they integrated the visual design of the outpost into the actual Citadel map. Because now it actually feels like you're outside your actual town defending it, and and taking care of work. Where Kamura felt kind of safe, right? It was like on this little remote island and stuff like that. So I like that.
Yeah, you had the
immersion.
same vibe with Monster Hunter Try, where you would actually could physically walk to the village
exactly.
the proper map. So that was cool. But so we have the Citadel is the new map that they talked about. So they already talked about one. I was wondering if they were showing two, because in the trailer when you first see it, you see the foresty stuff, you see the castle, and then you see the ice. And I was like, okay, is this two maps? Like, what's going on here? But no, it's all in the same map. I'm assuming it's going to be a significantly bigger map with two biomes.
Two.
Yeah, two biomes.
I could have sworn they mentioned three, but in the
wrong. They said there's the castle, and then there's the lush forest, and then there's the icy mountains. So there's like, because
there's three lords, right? Then they're each take care of their own sort of major area, right? So like on the website, they've got like two great beauty shots for all of them. So you've got like the forest area, then you've got like the darkened castle area, and then you've got the frozen area. So it's like three different major biomes.
I guess you can kind of put it like that. But I think that the castle is going to be relatively small in the grand compared to the extent of the other two biomes. I don't know, obviously, because we're just drawing.
I'm getting double vibes here. Like, it feels like Iceborne, where they did the Hoarfrost Reach, and they had three major areas, and as you progressed, each of those, the lower, mid, and high layers unlocked. And it also has a feeling of the Guiding Lands, which is that you're not just unlocking one large map, you're unlocking different biomes. So like, it's the best of Iceborne. It's the two best ideas they had on the maps fused together, and at least that's what it looks like, and that's exciting.
The thing that I'm concerned about is when you have a map that's this big, could it be that they're only making one map? Do you think that they're going to have three maps this big, which was your initial prediction? So
that's what I was going to say.
Maximum two.
You said two. Yeah. I'm thinking three, but it's three that look like they're integrated into one. So in a way, were we both kind of right?
It's like I still think they have to do. I still think that they should do at least one more map. I'm hoping there's at least one more map.
I'm assuming so as well, but
but if there isn't, I'm sure they'll make good use of the other maps, right?
Oh yeah. For sure.
But
the thing that was interesting was there was a cut in the trailer where they were like zipping from the foresty type of area to the ice area, and it's like, whoa, are they? Is it really going to be just one absolutely huge map without loading?
Yeah, you could actually see it in the trailer. In the trailer, you can actually see the separation between this is forest and this is ice, and you can see like a fading of the two right down the middle.
It's amazing.
But so a couple of interesting things about the map. There's a feature in the foresty part where it's like there's a mucky area that looks like it's got tree sap on it or something. Not sure if you noticed, like, it looked like the hunters
Oh
were
yeah,
moving
yeah.
way slower
Is
when
that
they
where
were
the
going around there.
Vespoids were?
I think so. I'm not sure. I don't remember everything from the trailer at this
Yeah,
point.
they
but
had a little shot, yeah, where they were walking through like that yellow sort of
yeah, the yellow
sappy
goop.
muck, and
Yeah.
I believe those were Vespoids. I have not done any research. I just woke up and
Yeah, I think that we're going to have to be careful in that area, but that's why we got wirebugs, because if you land on that muck, you're kind of screwed. If you get
move
pushed
slow.
into the muck, you're kind of screwed. So that's going to be like something that, it's like a friggin' hazard
against
of that zone.
against the big boy. Oh my gosh, can you imagine not being able to move with that big boy in there?
And then he goes in there and he just starts stomping with his double elemental hands.
That dude is a unit.
We can't talk
there.
about monsters yet. We'll get there. So
Yeah.
continuing on with the map, one of the things that I was wondering is whether or not we're going to be able to do like snow angels like we did in Monster Hunter. It's like,
So
I don't
that
think
everybody can draw phallic imagery.
exactly. I don't think they're going to push the technology that hard because it is the Switch. So I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to go there. And I know that people on PC are going to be like, "Well, I'm on PC. I don't care about the Switch." It's like, well, I mean, it doesn't matter that you don't care about it. What matters is whether or not they're going to do it. And I don't think they'll do it because it is on the Switch. Now, I have a theory about this map. And this is a theory that started forming, like particularly if you go to the website and you look at the images, you can see that at nighttime there's a purple glow to the map. Yeah. So that leads me to believe that at nighttime, and I think we already discussed this potential, which is at nighttime Malzeno powers up, right? And I'm wondering if if the secret Elder Dragon is the one that is causing like this thing to get like the purple glow at night that powers up Malzeno. So like whatever is behind, because there's always a secret monster behind the flagship. Whatever is behind the flagship could be the one causing this stuff to just like look all gloomy at night and powering up Malzeno.
I agree, and it's interesting because they showed specifically the transition of time, which we already have right now, like in the maps. But I don't know if it would actually be like Zelda: The Breath of the Wild, where it like transitions into like dangerous time. Or not? I doubt it, but
like the Red Moon Nights.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet if they did that.
That would be pretty cool. So that is the new map. We also get a shot of like the camp. I think the shot of the camp looked pretty cool because you got a little dock for a little boat and stuff, and it looks neat. So there's that, and that's like the main map that we know of so far. Like I said, we suspect that there might be at least one more map, but maybe there's not. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. This is the information. I always find
the official website really interesting for these scenes because there's always differences between the languages, and sometimes we can get hints on one language but not the others. So I still need to do a full deep dive of like the European languages because they're usually the ones that go off and they do something a little bit different. But there's a bunch of little differences, right, between the languages. And one of the things that I thought was interesting was the mystery, like what's going on with the monsters around the Citadel area. And in the Japanese website, they just say, you're investigating some sort of change that's happening in the monsters surrounding like the Citadel.
The kingdom monsters is what they call it in English.
Yeah, they didn't even use that term in the Japanese website, which I thought was interesting. But the idea that area has monsters that are affected by something. But in the English website, they're a little bit more specific, and they say that there's something that's causing them to become... And this is like in every single Monster Hunter, so it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
But it says that something's causing them to become violent, like more vicious. But that's interesting. So it's like, okay, so is the bloodlust, is that what's causing everybody to get all like, crazy or what?
Kind of gives you like Gormagala vibes, right? The frenzy virus, and you even have the colors. It's also like purpley and whatnot. So it gives you off a couple
that'll be a topic we'll have to hit, unless you want to hit that now.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one later. Because before we go there, I want to talk about the characters. Because like I'm trying to go through an order where we go through city, and then characters. Map, and now characters. And look, okay, when it comes to characters, the only thing we got to talk about is how Manile is the best waifu ever, and that's all there is to it. Look, dude, it is what
Minere in Japanese. Yeah, she is so heavily inspired by Little Miss Forge.
Little Miss Forge.
It's like this. It's like the same outfit. It's the same everything. I don't think it's actually her, but it could be because they did state that. I mean, she would have dyed her hair, but like they did state, and plus her body. I just like that whole. The Trovarians are really big people, right?
Isn't Little Miss Forge like a different race? Because this lady is human.
Yeah, so I don't think it's her, but I think it's heavily inspired.
It's
the thing is I think that Minel probably went to Hearth, and I think it would be nice if they have a call out because they say they use the wrong tense.
You can see in the goggles, like the goggles resemble the goggles that the guys from Hearth used.
It's practically the same outfit in almost every regard. So it's like. And we know that she went to Komura to study the blacksmithing techniques from Hamon. And she's actually come back from that already.
But
she's better. Said like,
listen,
she just came, but
she studied Hamon, and now she's already surpassed him.
She's already surpassed him. She's like in between the base game and the expansion, I've already mastered everything, which is why you see the Tataru fire in the town of the outpost because she's learned the ways.
Yeah,
she's mastered them. She can make master rank stuff where poor Hammond's just be like, "Hello, you want an iron katana?
You want some of this Tatara steel?" It's like, nah, I'm good, thanks.
Nah, I'm good, man.
I'm gonna go talk to Manale. She's the waifu now. So Manale was a character that I personally really liked, and on top of it,
you're simping for her.
Oh yeah, I'm simping for Manale like all day, like easy mode. It's good. Okay. And on top of it, she's one of the here's the best part, right? Because like I really liked Rondine during Rise, but she's not necessarily a character that you would go interact with all that much because you would do the stuff from your room, right? Whereas with Manale, you're going to be interacting with her a whole lot. She's the one crafting the stuff. So it's like you're going to have like a blacksmith in the hunter the gathering hall. And I'm never going to see that guy. Like, I'm sorry, dude. It's just like, it is what it is. I'm going to be hanging out with Manile all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah. She's an interesting character. And you already can guess who my favorite is.
I mean, you were just instantly talking about Pure Rain the second we started.
Yeah,
talking,
we don't have to call her Rondine's sister anymore. We can call her by the fact that she's so much better than Rondine.
She's a really cool character though as well. Like I was like, hey, Manale's definitely the waifu, but like Pure Rain is an amazing character as well. I'll give you that, like straight up.
So here's a question: Rondine didn't have like isn't the name like mean sparrow or something? Like it's sort of like related to like an Italian or Portuguese word or something?
I remember I Googled that up, and I think it was either Italian or Spanish, but I honestly don't
I'm kind of curious if Pure Rain has any type of... It looks like it's a unique name to this game, but I don't know if it takes inspiration from some other European language. So if you guys are in Europe, let us know.
It sounds Italian, but I don't think they would use the Y.
In Japanese, it's Fiorene.
I don't think they would use the Y in Italian, but I could be wrong. That's the one thing that... But yeah, I'm not fluent in Italian, so just like take that with a grain of salt. But
she's awesome.
I like her a lot as well. I think she's going to be an interesting character. I hope that they have a couple of quests where she actually shows up and stuff like that. I think because
she's in the key art, right, with the hunters, and I want her to. I want some type of feature where you can hunt with her. That would be so awesome. Whether cool. I might just be story scenes, but I don't care. I want her armor. I want to hunt with her. She's just too badass. And her shoes. Did you see her shoes? Like the golden heels and everything. Like it's just oozing with style.
Yeah, she's got that drip. She and the commander. The commander's also not commander.
Yeah, the commander. I was gonna say you're in the game. Congratulations.
I'm in the game, Admiral Gallius.
Yeah, Admiral Gallius.
Eric's brought up a very important point. Eric's brought up an extremely important point, and Capcom has to deliver on this. Otherwise, we have problems. And that is, how can this character have such a glorious, massive beard? And all we get is that 5 o'clock shadow in the game. It's like, no. Listen, we want this. We want the glorious beard of Admiral Gallius. By the way, in the English version of the website, it says the Admiral Gallius. So he's not Admiral just once. He's double the Admiral, apparently.
Well, he's a double Admiral? Admiral.
Yeah, it's got some mistakes, but then again, his flavor text also has a mistake. It's missing like a T on his flavor text, but it's whatever. But yeah, he's the leader of the Knights of the Royal Order and the commanding officer at Elgado Outpost. And he's just got that drip. Like, I know everybody's going to want that coat, but hey, last time we didn't get the coat from the other guy that showed up during Fatalis. We never got his armor, right? If I remember correctly. I don't think we did. Yeah, so we might not get this dude's armor, which would be a damn shame because it'd be really cool. Dude looks amazing. Did you notice that both him and Furain have this like bird sigil thing kind of like on, and his is blue and hers is red. That's probably like a rank thing, right?
Yeah, that's my assumption as well.
So blue would denote like royalty, a superior officer, something along those lines, and red's just kind of more like knight, so to speak. But either way, both look really, really cool. Then we have...
I love the idea because it reminds me so much of the Ace Hunters in a way, but even better because they feel more integrated. But it's just like having that like that special unit of like, everyone's a badass is awesome. And then we did also saw Paz and Selvis in town as well. If you noticed, I
saw your tweet. I didn't notice them in the trailer the first time, but then I saw the screen grabs from your tweet. Yeah,
I was happy about that.
Were those the ones that they sold the DLC for? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was really concerned that they wouldn't be like their own fleshed out characters, but they are, which is good. I'm hoping that Fugen's was it daughter or stepdaughter or whoever she is. I hope she appears in the town. I hope she's a character, the one who beats up Arzaroses with her fists.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But maybe they'll have a cutscene for that.
Yeah, but I mean, the next character we talk about has to be Chiche.
Chiche. Yep.
Oh my god.
The quest damsel. So they tweet a while ago like the glasses, and everybody thought that we were going to get the guild marm from 4 Ultimate or something. I remember something about that. And looks like she has glasses, but it is the quest damsel Chiche. And I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that she's royalty. Because everybody kneels before
she's
her
like
and
the
stuff.
Princess, right? Yeah.
So I'm assuming she's a princess, but she's very modest. She's like, no, I'm just a quest damsel. Don't kneel before me or whatever. So it seems that she wants to take a.
I like the suggestion though, right? That even royalty for the kingdom would be involved in the excursions of the Royal Knights. Like they would send somebody so important.
It's like the vibe that I get from the trailer is that it's not necessarily a common occurrence. Like the vibe that I get is that she's an exception, that she wants to be involved in it.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to, but she wants to, which is interesting.
Yeah, and if you remember, like Rondine's always talking about the queen, right? So I do think that it's probably her mother who runs the kingdom, and so she's sort of taking the command post, but she suspiciously looks around the same age as Yomogi. So I can definitely sniff, and tinfoil hats, I think there's a connection.
Because we know that Yomogi? Yeah.
Well, we know that Yomogi came from a different town that was not Kimura. We don't know from where. We knew that she was dropped off by a Wyverian, which we know are also in the kingdom. Because we've got Oboro. They're very suspiciously the same height. They look the same age. The whole theme of sisters is a big thing because with Minoto and Hinoa, with Fiore and Rondine, I could see it happening here with Chiche and Yomogi. Maybe they're like sisters, like long lost sisters. I don't know. I'm totally talking out of my
dude. If she's Yomogi's sister, that'd be really cool. We have to. Go back to Kimura. Talk to Fukushigi. Maybe
separated at birth.
Maybe he's got like the details on him. Maybe we can go back there and talk to him in between. It would be interesting if they actually did that, right? In between like master ranks, you could go back to Kimura and get more information from Fukushigi the informant. That'd be pretty neat.
What I love is her name in Japanese is Chiche. They use the same names, right? Which is great. It helps me a lot, so I'm not getting confused over. Because I still say Hinoa. I mix them up all the time because they're different. But Chiche is also like the Japanese. Phonetically, it's the same word. Like if it's slang, if you go like, wow, that's chisai, like that's really small or really short or something, you'd be like, what, Chiche? So it's the slang word for
tiny
petite
one.
Yeah, the tiny one, and it's so cute because it'll be instantly you'll remember it. And I love that they gave her a nice sort of posh accent in the English. I thought the voice acting sounded really good.
And you got, she's also got like one of the emblems she uses as like a hairpin, but she's got the same emblem with the same blue stuff as the Admiral, which again just appeared to denote rank. Then we have the scientist.
And she's got a little doll, and I don't know if that's the new, but we'll talk about monsters. I don't know if that's the new little goblin monster thingies, but she's got like a little plushy doll that looks adorable.
Okay, so no, we'll talk about that when we get the monsters because I got something that I got to talk about that as well. But
How about Oboro? Like, wait, he's kind of a husbando. Like, that's a good looking guy.
I don't know about that.
No, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Fugen didn't even show his darn face.
Yeah, Fugen's busy defending Kimura, dude, from the Rampage.
And Bahari, we got to mention Bahari. Bahari, the crazy, wild young scientist, the Wyverian lead.
He's got.
So I like the idea that the Wyverians are being less like suspicious and all like, we are Master Jedi, and it's like they're just like kind of there in town, like integrated and cool, and young Wyverians is not something you always see. So
he's probably like the one who's setting up like all of the technological stuff around the village, I feel like. So he's probably working closely with Menail to set up all of this stuff so that they can work on Tatara steel and whatnot. So yeah. But Bahari and Noboru also look pretty cool, interesting characters. I'm curious to see how they develop further, but Menail, my eyes are on Menail. It is what it is. And I just noticed as I was looking
you just like it because she's got a hammer. That's why you like her.
Yes, exactly. I mean, look.
But now,
listen,
I like Fiora so much that now I'm thinking about trying Paladin in Final Fantasy XIV because I love the Sword and Shield.
Yeah. But listen. If you read Menail's description, Menail loves her work. This is the last part. She loves her work and everything to do with weapons and armor, and bangs out each task while gripping her mighty hammer.
And you see that small little hammer on the render?
Yeah, you see the tiny little hammer.
Yeah, let me see what the Japanese says.
just the final paragraph, because the other stuff is just like very generic. I mean, it's where
it's really generic in Japanese. They're just saying, through the introduction of Rondine, she was able to go to Kamara Village where she studied forging under Hamon. She loves her job of making weapons and armor, is always working on stuff, is all it says.
Oh man, the English version is way better. We got the better one there for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess the time has come. We got to jump into the meat and potatoes monsters. So
monsters.
I'm gonna start from the actual website by order because there's a new detail that I noticed about Malzeno that I hadn't noticed before. I don't know if it was shown before or if they just zoomed in on it more. The little things that are flying around them. So my theory is that these essentially work like insects. So they go to the hunters, they sting them, they steal their essence, and then they give it to Malzeno. That was like my theory for these little dudes. They're kind of like insects. So Malzeno's got a swarm of insects that he sends out to steal our essence, and then it buffs him.
I want to come up with a little nickname for them because they're kind of like little blood-sucking Giganoxes. Yeah. If you look at their face, because they're supposed to be bloodsuckers, right? So if you look at their face, it's like a cylinder. It just looks like a noodle, which and it looks like it's just meant to just attach on and suck.
Yeah.
But they also look like butterflies in a way, like because they can fly. So it's like they're like little Giganoxes floating around. They're blood-sucking giggies. They're cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good guess. I think that's probably very likely.
So then we have Garangolm, which is my favorite of the new monsters that they showed today, which looks really cool.
Kong versus Godzilla. Now we know what happened to Kong at the end.
he became armored.
He says, "Hang on, I'm gonna study under Kongalala and get his belly flaps and his swipes. I'm gonna go study under Brachydio so I can get his pounders." And I'm going to study Duramboros and realize why everybody loved Big Chunky Boy. And we're going to mix them all together, and we get Frankenstein's Golem Frankenstein's monster, and it's Garagolm.
Garangolm is really, the fact that he wields 2 elements, I think is really cool. I wonder what his elemental weaknesses are going to be. Because maybe it's like even, on his right paw, he's weaker to water. On his left paw, he's weaker to thunder or something like that. Because that one's the one with water. I don't know. It looks pretty insane. But one of the things that I would like to see, I want to be able to bust his face wide open. Like,
well, the first thing I saw the chin, and the first thing I said is, "Oh, they're telling me to play Hammer this time."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I want to bust it off. I want to see his. I want to see his naked gorilla face, just derpy as heck with body armor on, but a little face that says, "Somebody smashed me."
I think it's hilarious that both
My
of
hunting
us
horn is
went.
ready.
Both of us went the exact same direction, which is like we look at the monster like, I want to bust his face wide open. That's what I want. I just want to bust him up.
Off.
I want to break his head. I want to just like completely see. We definitely are the monsters. The hunters are we look at this creature of nature and we're like, I want to bust that off. I want to break it up. I want to see how badly I can make this creature suffer. Like we're definitely monsters. But I think it'll be cool if they actually, if it actually breaks in a substantial way and you'll be able to see like his monkey face in there. I think that would be an interesting thing.
I can't wait to see him versus Rajang. Okay, that's what I cannot wait to... Because Rajang is like really powerful, but itty-bitty monkey. This guy is like huge monkey, right? And so like... And he's got the derpy goblin boys, which I absolutely adore. I don't know if you saw the first screenshot on the website. They have a picture of... It's the little
those
derpy
are
guys
like...
with the...
So
they remind
those
me
are
of
the
the
ones
hyenas
that
from like Lion King, right? They got like the tongue hanging out their mouth.
That's what I was going to say, because like everybody's calling them goblins, and I'm like, where are you seeing goblins? All I see is hyenas, dude. Like straight up from Lion King, just like you said. It's like the Lion King hyenas. They're not goblins.
I think it's the ears, because it reminds me of like the Gremlins. Like they've got like these goblin ears. That's a collab quest. Come on, make it happen. We need it.
The Gremlins.
But they're definitely hyena vibes as well, right? But they're so derpy looking. I love it.
You think there's like a bigger version of them to be like one of our G rank monsters?
There has to be.
Yeah,
there has to be.
And
I'm kind of curious, like. I could be wrong because I have not had time to analyze or think about anything, which is another reason why I don't have a video. I just woke up. Because you got to remember, like, this came out all at 11 p.m. in Japan time.
Yeah,
so
for Gaijin it was real late.
Yeah.
It was perfect time for me, though. Yeah. Banged out a video instantly.
But I'm kind of curious because the little plushie that, the handmade craft plushie that Chiche has, seems like it has 2 big saggy ears. I'm kind of curious if like their leader is going to be like the new kind of like cute monster, like the new young cuckoo, like that people will make little dolls off of and stuff. I don't know. It's that was the first thought that hit my mind, at least, because I didn't recognize what that was.
I don't know. I do think that they look derpy, which is interesting, but at the same time they look derpy in an evil way because they're like
we're gonna eat it tonight.
So
they're gonna be on our butts.
Mm-hmm. Now we got Lunageron, and Lunageron, I'm not sure if they had confirmed before that he could harden his outer body with frost. Had they confirmed that before, or was that just in this event that they confirmed that?
No, I thought we saw that one during the first initial.
I mean, you see the animation, but they don't really tell you what he's doing, right? Because now they actually specifically confirm it. If you read his description, it straight up says he's got an organ that chills the air it inhales, which then circulates through its body, a unique form of thermoregulation. But basically, they say at least I remember during the direct, them actually saying, oh yeah, he hardens his stuff and that made me think, does that mean that there's not going to be a Zamtrios? Because a lot of people want Zamtrios. And this is a very similar mechanic to when Zamtrios goes into his like form where he just like hardens all of his stuff with ice. And I don't know. Would you think they would put 2 monsters that do kind of that thing? Because I mean, also Zammy still just like puffs up, so he's got that thing going for him.
I take it as the way I like to think about it is like these are direct hints. Like, for example, like I was saying, like if you look at the move set for Garen Golem, he's got unique stuff in there, but he also has very distinctly Kongalala animations.
Mm-hmm.
He does the arms in the air, the belly flop, even his like triple, quadruple like swipe attack is from Kongalala. It's heavily inspired. So if they're reworking animations so that they have new spins on it, then come on, you got to assume they're going to include
the originals.
The originals. So I think that we're going to get Kongalalas back, and I think with Luna Garon we're going to get Zamtrios's back, because it's like the mechanic is there. We got Tetranodon with the flabby belly. We've got now the morphing into ice back and forth. It's perfect.
I don't know. The vibe that I got is like, man, with Luna Garon, considering I don't know. I think they'll focus more on Luna Garon, and I don't know if they'll want to do Zammy. But it's like, hey, I'd love to see Zammy. Don't get me wrong.
We need mid-tier monsters. Don't forget that these are not going to all be early or mid-tier monsters. They're going to be later ones. We need a mid-tier, good strong mid-tier cast is usually what Master G rank has. So
yeah. Speaking of mid-tier, there's Astalos there. Just joking. Just joking. So
I think Astalos is funny. Astalos is loved by everybody. I don't know anybody who does not love Astalos.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed that they didn't let us hear his cricket chirp. I love his cricket chirp he's got this like weird little chirping sound he makes, especially when you hit him. I wanted to hear that, but yeah, he's great.
He's pretty cool. You think that he could potentially
get her revenge?
You think that he could potentially be one of those that get an Apex?
Yeah, I definitely would. I want to see him, and I also want to see Mizutsune get a subspecies. Not deviant, a subspecies.
Not deviant, but like a new one?
Yeah, because we have acidic glavinus. I want to see a full-on actual subspecies for these guys.
Dude, I'll tell you what, though. I don't like acidic glavinus at all. Like I kind of
he's
for starters, is AI. Like I'll tell you, like every time I hunt him, he runs away from literally everything. I've had so many hunts where I've seen him get beat up by everything that's in the scenario. I've seen him get beat up by a great Gyros, dude. A great Gyros beat up an acidic glavinus, just like beat him up, had his way with him. I was like, what is going on right now? And then after he got beat up, he ran away. He ran away after he got beat up.
My theory actually on acidic glavinus is that they kind of screwed up. I kind of think that he was probably too strong to begin with when they made him. And then during testing, they dialed him back, but they dialed him back too much because he should be more powerful than the regular glavinus, but he certainly comes off as easier.
Nah, he's not.
So
yeah,
huh?
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
the render's looking good though.
Astalos looks amazing. They revealed him at the very end of the trailer, almost like, ha! Here we go. There wasn't even a tease because, like with World and stuff, they did like teases like, we're gonna get Narga, we're gonna get this, and this is like, here's Astalos. It's like, whoa, dude. Yeah. But I have a theory that I think that they might tease some of the monsters by showing us shells of Shogun Senator. I think that'd be an interesting way. I mean, not now. They haven't done it now, but I'm thinking that potentially in future videos, they'll just show like Shogun Senator with certain skulls. And you'll be like, wait, this is a friggin' like a Gravio skull, dude. What the hell? And then you'll be maybe thinking about it, you know? That might be a way to do it, but I don't know.
I hope Gravios is in. I hope that bastard's in. Because with the Wirebug, oh my gosh, finally the tables have turned. Go ahead. Hit me with your breath. Try it, buddy. But, I'm going to swing above him as he's doing his little fire farts and stomps. It's going to be great.
He looked like an Astalos, that is. He looked like an absolute badass when he was fighting Rathalos. Like, he was just like going to town. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But then we have
for Gammoth, I think it's going to get sidelined.
Yeah.
It's just, the problem is the Wirebugs require such veracity by the monsters that we need nimble, ferocious monsters. And if you notice, like right now, like Lunagaron is incredibly nimble, even traversing the terrain really fast. Garen Golem is nimble and huge, Malzeno the same. So like I don't see Gammoth coming back because you can't make the Wirebug would just destroy that monster. Like you'd have way too many ways to mitigate a large beast. So.
We had that discussion during the stream where people were talking about Gammoth, and I was like, dude, if they bring Gammoth in, this like poor creature's gonna get demolished right now with the amount of agility that we have in our hunters. But
I don't see it.
Then we have the Blood Orange Bishaten, and considering that the palms of Garangolm were fire, which initially when I saw it, I was wondering if the palms were blast, particularly because it almost looked like he had slime on his palms. But considering that he ended up being fire, then I think that Blood Orange Bishaten is going to be blast, right?
That's my assumption as well, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's hilarious that he throws literal pine cones, because you have Basil that drops what is essentially a pine cone.
Yeah. And now we're getting someone throwing him at it.
It's almost like Bishaten looked at Basil and is like, you know what? That sounds like a good idea.
The first thing I thought when I saw the subspecies, because remember we were talking about this, I said I thought they were going to go with Blast because it would make sense because he throws stuff.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for an arena quest with him and Basil. That will be awesome. At the same time,
the pine cones of doom.
Yep, exactly.
Just call that quest the Pine Cones of Doom.
Pine cones rain from above. Like.
Yeah, but yeah,
that
was really cool. I think that Bishaten is a monster that, you fight him early on and then you never touch him again. So I hope that they give him a little bit more life.
Yeah, this feels like he'll be a mid-tier. He would probably be a mid-tier one.
Yeah,
because he's fast and nimble, but he's gained proximity hits. Like that's great. Mm-hmm. AoEs.
Yeah, and then obviously we have Shogun Senator, which is returning one. Which the one thing that you can take from him is that we're probably going to be receiving bleed back. We're going to get bleed, which means as an ailment.
I definitely think we're going to get Citadel. He's perfect for this game. You kidding me?
Yeah,
that fits the quick and nimble. He fills the non-elemental slot beautifully. He's aggressive. He moves left and right a lot. Like, he'd be perfect. So I could definitely see him.
Reworked Steve, I'm scary, dude. Like, I hated fighting Steve in GU, dude. He would beat my ass so hard. Although, it could just be revenge time now, because, like, in GU, Gunlance is so not mobile as it is in this one. In this one, we got like so much mobility.
Cidadel's weapons, think about it. They were the coolest things. They had the greatest abilities. If they bring back Cidadel's, which I think they will, that light bowgun, okay, it's over. Like I'm gonna be bowgunner. Like that was the greatest thing ever.
The Gunlance would restore sharpness when you dodged. I think most weapons would restore sharpness when you dodged. So that'll be cool. Yeah. With all the hops that we can do now with the Gunlance, dude, I'm be like dodging all over the place, restoring sharpness, not even have to sharpen at all.
But Shogun also follows the same pattern, right? Like it's nimble and it's really unpredictable. Like it's actually it's predictable, I'm sure, for veterans, but even I can't remember him. He moves so weirdly that I always get tripped up by his ass.
It's because they move sideways. They're little crabs. They do a little crab dance.
Yeah. You think he's coming forward, but then he goes to the side, and then he does and hits you with a huge, wide, scythe. It's like, oh, come on.
I need someone to use that music from Monster Cat Media, the crab rave, and then just replace the crabs with shoguns. It was like dun 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 dun. It's just Shogun Seanators in there instead. That'd be awesome. But I
do love I love the theme we're seeing here with all the monsters and doubling down on fast action. I think this is going to be an intense expansion.
It's one of those things. I wouldn't say necessarily that I'm loving it because, like I've said multiple times, I would like them to slow it down, but I feel like for this game they have to keep speeding it up.
They're just speeding it up. They're double down. They're committed.
I had one thing that I said during my stream that it was just an idea that came to me, and I think that would actually be really interesting. And that is, what if they choose to double the amount of wirebugs for Wirefall? Takes 2 wirebugs instead of 1. You wouldn't be just like throwing it off willy-nilly like everybody is right now. I mean,
I don't think from a game design standpoint you'd want to punish people that hard. I think you'd have a longer cooldown for sure. I think that's the right answer. Is like instead of like a 15-second, it's like a 45-second cooldown, like a triple length. So you're not going to use that one for a while. But to just take away all the wirebugs and say that you can't engage in the system anymore until if you're using it, it's already punishable. And can you imagine how many people are going to be carting to Astalos and Garangal when you do a wirefall? It's going to be the most like.
I don't know Garen, but like friggin' Astalos, Astalos.
Oh, he will punish you so hard. So if you're already going to get punished, then I don't see them going too hard.
I don't know. Again, it's just like Wirefall is one of those things that over time just began bothering me more and more because I feel like it's really overpowered. So I would like to see them reel that in. They did say though that like you're going to need a 13 gigabyte patch once this game launches, even if you're just still playing Rise. You're going to need to update it to continue to play it online. I think that's because they're going to allow people to just bring in stuff from Sunbreak and continue to play with Rise people. And
they had the same thing with Iceborne, right?
That patch is also going to rebalance weapons, and I'm assuming it might rebalance some Wirebug usage as well.
So nerf the Gunlands, Capcom. You're listening. Take away. It's too powerful. Nerf it more.
Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. It's like, what are you gonna? If you multiply a number to 0, it's still just 0. Okay, clearly I'm exaggerating, but what I'm saying is like, it's like I don't even think the Gunlance needs too many buffs. The thing that I actually want is I just want more Gunlances to be viable as opposed to just being like 2 or 3 from the tree and that's it. Because the shelling levels is always a pain. So that's the only thing I really want. But that's neither here nor there. We also got, because these are the monsters that are confirmed. We don't know any other monsters at this point. But they gave us a couple of more interesting features that we can also talk about. So first one being...
Can I ask something about monsters, though, while we're on the topic?
Shoot.
So I think it's hilarious how everybody is so obsessed with Gore Magala that the second they see anything that looks like a Gore Magala thing, people are like, and it takes their breath away. And so there was the dual blades that look like claws, and I think they're from Luna, but they kind of had the same vibe as Gore Magala, and people are like, and I'm like, no. So I have a theory. I have a guess on what they're going to do with Gore Magala. You know how like right before the release, they show who the first DLC monster is going to be?
You think he's going to
get everybody really excited? I think he's going to be the first DLC monster. Because if you think about it, DLC monsters are the perfect way to, one, grab everyone's attention because they know everybody loves Gore Magala. I mean, they let what's his name put it in the freaking movie just because they knew that it would help them to try to get someone to go to the theater to see it. That's how much people love it. And it's very, loved by Western audience and Japanese ones alike. I don't see them bringing it into the actual main story because it just has... People like it because of the lore and like, it would cannibalize the story with Malzeno. But the thing is like, if it's a DLC monster, it means that most people have finished the main story by that point. Like, it would be the perfect addition, I think, as a DLC monster. Because they wouldn't have to talk about the lore at all. They'll just say, oh my god, there's another one that's come to the kingdom, and that's all they have to say.
But I still feel like if they bring Gore Magala, they should put in an effort to bring a couple of frenzied monsters with it at least. Like, frenzy up some of the monsters we have. They don't have to frenzy all of them. They didn't do that for 4 Ultimate, as far as I'm aware. But frenzy up a couple of monsters.
Generations Ultimate had Gore Magala and Shigado without doing that.
Yeah, without doing any of that. Yeah. But it's like, again, Generations Ultimate were like anniversary editions, essentially. Like greatest hits.
Yeah.
So I think they can get away with
have that. I think I don't see them cannibalizing whatever they're going to do with Malzeno and the whole Dark Moon. But I don't see them not including Gore Magala. There's no way in hell. Are you kidding me? Like, they want to sell copies, that's going to be the way to do it.
I guess
everyone's like, oh, laggy. No, not laggy. No, it's going to be Gore Magala.
Hey, why you gotta dude, I'm sending this part of the video to Super
Laggy is going to, if they pull off what I told you, I hope they do, which is underwater actually fun and for everybody.
The next Monster
Hunter, it would be the perfect monster to say, and guess who's back?
Sorry, Super Rad. Sorry, man.
That and like it would get totally. I'm trying to come up with words that are not going to like censor the podcast, but like it's going to get bloodied. Yeah,
it's going to get bodied. Yeah.
Because of the wirebugs, like long, big monsters like that will just get completely kicked around, and I almost think that's why we may or may not see Duramboros. I don't know if they would rework it because Wirefall would just be devastating. Again, you would get your butt kicked. But monsters, I think if you can mitigate it too much with a wirebug, I don't see it coming back. I think that's going to be the prerequisite. I really want to see white monoblos come back though.
Yeah, but white monoblos has to come back, huh, guys?
He is the. Have you ever gone back and fought that guy in 4U after like the fact? Oh my gosh! It's like they calculated how long does it take to drink a potion? Okay, how long does it take to sprint from this end of the Everwood to this end of the wall? Okay, let's make it within 0.02 milliseconds. Okay, perfect. Done. He is crazy. I love him.
I just find it hilarious that you're like, Super Ad's monster is like, nah, screw that, but my monster. That's the way you're looking. You're like, yeah, Super Ad's monster. No, we don't need that. That's for the next one. But then you're like, but my monster, my white monoblos.
No. I think it would be a disservice to something like Laggy to not have it in water for the next return of it. It would just be. I think it shines so well in water.
It's an Ivory. They just bring out Ivory. Ivory spent more time in land than in water. It's fine.
Ivory's just a glorified Kizu. Shots fired? I don't know.
It's like, listen, I like Laggy. I'm not going to go to.
I like Laggy as well, but I mean, Ivory Laggy is my boy in Monster Hunter Stories. Like, you kidding me?
Oh man!
But it's fun. We love all the monsters.
So, they talked about a couple of new mechanics as well. So we have new hunting actions. They call these new Silkbinds. Can you check out the Japanese version of the website for these?
Yep. Will do.
Because I'm curious. I'll read you the English version, and then you can tell me if there's anything that's like slightly different that gives us a hint of how many we're getting or not. But they say here, new Silkbind moves / attacks have been added for each of the 14 weapons. Utilize these new abilities to further customize your own hunting playstyle. So they say Silkbind moves or switch skills on the Japanese version. I'm assuming Silkbind moves as well.
Silkbind, yeah.
Okay. So is there anything that's like different at all from what I'm reading here in English?
No, and Japanese is wonderfully frustrating for translators in the fact that there's no plural tense for a lot of things. So like you don't know whether it's singular or plural. So who knows?
I mean, it's the way that they say it here is also very like ambiguous. So it could be one attack per weapon. It could literally be interpreted as that, one attack per weapon, or it could be 2 attacks per weapon. We don't know.
They're just saying, hey, there will be new stuff to do with every weapon. Okay, that's all. That's all we know.
I believe that they will switch up like some of the movesets around a little bit, maybe, like add a new move here and there, and then also add like at least 1 Silkbind move per weapon. I'm not sure if they'll do more than 1 Silkbind move, and if they only do 1 Silkbind move, Capcom, Gunlance, AA Flare, listen. Non-negotiable. It's AA Flare. It has to be. It's that simple.
So here's the big question: is that a lance or is that a gun lance?
That's a lance. No, it's
like a Shoryugeki. It's a straight up.
And the new lance Silkbind, because it's a lance, and like Chaos Slayer has also looked at it and he said, "Oh, I can't see a cannon," but it's like to me. It was easier to say that it's a lance because, like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna just make like 2 hail cutter moves. It's basically a hail cutter. It's exactly like the hail cutter goes up, comes down. So it doesn't make sense there would be a gun lance move. So yes, that is a lance move, and then we have.
It looks glorious. It's a counter too. So it's got that same build up animation. It's a counter, and it doesn't. Yeah. If watch, it counters the hit from.
So it's basically it's a Metsu. It's just straight up Metsu,
which is straight up. That's awesome.
Good.
What's the other one that they have?
Because now at least Now at least the lance has one good Silkbind ability.
Oh, come on. The other one is so good
Which
that it
one?
destroys the core loop of the weapon.
Which one? Which one are you
The
talking
double
about?
dash one. It's so busted strong.
It sucks. I don't like it. Spiral thrust? I don't like that thing.
Yeah.
Aiming
Oh,
that
wow,
thing is
it's-
a pain. I don't know. It is like,
well,
look,
once
I
you
just
get good,
don't like.
you can aim it.
Oh, once you get
This
good.
is gun lancer problems. This is gun lancer problems.
Okay.
It's like me. If you put, I'm a lancer, so if you give me a gun lance, it's like when you put in your shoes backwards and you're kind of like fumbling.
You
thing.
say that, but you yourself said that you preferred the gun lance and Rise to the Lance.
I
So
do. The gun lance is better than Rise.
You got no ground to stand on, my friend. I'm sorry.
I got none. I'm more than happy to throw up my hands and say you're right, and you were right. The gun lance is really fun.
But it's like, I hope that I hope that this is a good Silkbind for the lance. The lance definitely needs some love, so I hope it deals a ton of damage, and I hope it's good. Then we have for the light bowgun, there's the little thing where you can see that there's a wire bug just kind of like circling around. I think that's damage buff for shots, which is why he's shooting through it. What are you thinking?
I have no idea. I'm looking at it now. There's really not much of a hint. My initial guess, because it does seem like it's a limited time because it changes to red at the end, which means that it's getting weaker. My first initial guess was that it might be a shield.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are thinking shield.
Because
I'm thinking
like,
damage buff.
if the monsters are really fast, so like if you wanted to really take advantage of cutting off parts with the bowgun, which is already crazy strong, like having a temporary 3-second shield would be perfect because you can actually aim and hit something that you want. But it could be a buff as well. Or maybe it's both. I don't know.
Who knows? At this point, we don't know.
Looks interesting though.
Yeah, it does look interesting. And then for the dual blades, we have what is basically a move that they took straight from a Marvel vs. Capcom game, which is called the Wolverine Drill Claw. Well, I'm not sure if you've played Marvel vs. Capcom.
No.
Wolverine is in there, and Wolverine has a move where he basically spins exactly like that, and it's called the Drill Claw. And he actually says it like an anime character. Every time he does, it's like, Drill Claw, Drill Claw. Then he has another one where he just goes like this, and he's like, Berserker Barrage. So anyone that's played Marvel vs. Capcom knows exactly what I'm talking about. Berserker Barrage, Drill Claw. That's the Drill Claw that you get. And it's some kind of an aerial move because he does it from the air, I think.
I guess my question is, which came first? Was it
Marvel vs. Capcom or Monster Hunter?
Or Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate? Because there was a move like this in Generations Ultimate, right? With the same animation where you did a drill into the monster and then you had the legs. It's the same animation.
I don't know.
I was looking for the name. It's called Spiral Slice. I believe that's the one. But it says leaps forward in a corkscrewed motion, blades ripping it apart. And you got like the legs spread at the end. It's like a dance move almost.
Yeah.
Like that's straight off from Generations Ultimate. That's Spiral Slice.
Okay, but then I stand corrected.
But you didn't get to do that like from any direction in the middle of the air. That's kind of like a homing missile. That's pretty sweet.
It's really cool that it almost looks like maybe does some kind of a backflip and then just like dives in, which means it can also be used as a way to get out. Maybe I don't know, but it looks very fun for people that are going to be playing dual blades. So looks like they're taking things up a notch. The only one that looks more tame is the light bowgun one with the shield thing. But the other ones look like way more acrobatic with at least the lance and the dual blades one. They look extremely acrobatic, which is cool. Flashy.
Yeah, they're really embracing what they said during Generations, which was, I think that was meant to be for just Generations, not like the portable series in general. But they said, this is like the Street Fighter Alpha of Street Fighter. I'm like, well, they're really embracing it this time. It's great. I love it. A lot of the experiments here are some will become staples for sure.
Mm-hmm. Then we have improved wall running, which basically means our characters can just like run up walls now, as opposed to requiring you to do the thing, the
wirebug,
the wirebug move.
So now you can just run straight into a wall and then boom.
Now, someone did comment in one of my videos that it's like they need to be careful about this because sometimes you're finding a monster next to a wall. You don't necessarily want to climb the wall, and you might end up climbing a wall by mistake, and that can be a little bit frustrating. But they say that you kind of
On
like
the website, yeah, you can turn it off. You can tweak the settings for the
I
auto,
think
whether it's
I think
on or
that
off.
you need to dash into the wall. Dash as in like dodge. I think you have to dodge into the wall. I mean, in the English version, they say simply dash, fall, or perform. Well, dash could just be like R1, I guess. Could just be running.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
run into the wall and just start, yeah. So yeah, I hope that you can tweak
But they
it so
say
that you
below,
don't
they say
accident-
additional option will allow you to control whether dashing, falling, or mid-air evades will initiate a wall run. You can choose from on, off, or off only in combat. So if you want to have it for on for exploration, you can turn it off so you don't have that issue.
In the Japanese version, it says that, I guess.
No, I'm looking at the English website. It says that.
You no longer have to perform. It's simply dash, fall, or perform mid-air evade towards the wall. Run.
Looking below, it says note.
Oh, an additional option. Dude, I never read the fine print.
It's a very important fine print this time. So they've already seen ahead. They know that that's going to be an issue for some players. So you can tweak whether or not what will initiate it and what won't, and when.
Just
in
like
combat, out of combat.
Just like potentially we'll be able to tweak the mounting, as in like maybe not force us to mount. I think that's definitely going to be a thing. And then they talk about some more endemic life, which are the morphed wirebugs.
Really quick though, about the wall running. Did you notice that they say fall? So you can I want to know what they mean by falling. Like that just is going to speed up things even faster. Because if you get knocked, can you imagine if this also works for getting knocked back and you fall into a wall? Would you just immediately go into like a wall dash to try to get back in the action, or what?
I think it's falling as in like you jump off of something and you're falling. And then so like, say you jump off and you hit a wall like from the side and you start like wall running maybe. That's what I'm thinking.
Where this is going to be really cool though is like, can you imagine like how fun it's going to feel? Because right now gathering the bugs and just doing general traversing is fine for people who are really used to wirebugs. But there's so many points where you're just a little bit out of wirebugs and you just can't quite get over the hill. But now you could just do the evade from the hanging move that you do, and just run, and it'll immediately initiate a run. I think it's going to be a huge game changer, like in terms of just how fun it is to move around. I think it's going to be great.
I'm just even thinking about the that route that you translated from the other guy. That
will make it even better.
Yeah, that will be a lot more improved with something like that. But then they showed us also new endemic life, morphed wirebugs, which are new types of wirebugs that shine more brilliant than regular ones. There's two types, ruby and gold.
Pokemon.
Both
Ruby
of them
version, gold.
both of them essentially make it easier for you to initiate wyvern riding, and your wirebug gauge recovery speed is boosted, so you'll want to identify where these bad boys are, because wirebug recovery speed is something that you don't want to miss out on.
That's damage.
It's massive. It's huge. Like, I remember we used to talk about this before Rise was announced, where we said they're not going to do a skill that makes it faster to get wirebugs, right? And yes, they did. And in a lot of builds, they're
going to reward you for the exploration. I think that's a smart move.
Yeah. And then if you pick up the red one, then mounted punishers do more damage. These are the final hits, after you fill up the gauge and you're ready to finish it, pressing X and A.
Yeah.
So these will deal more damage. Or if you go with the gold one, wyvern riding attacks are more likely to cause a monster to drop materials, which you already translated.
Yeah,
you said
that's a mistranslation, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they just drop more materials, period. That's it.
Yeah. It says the amount of items that a monster can drop when getting hit by a mounted attack the max is 3 right now, right? So I imagine it'll become 4. It will increase, which means the farm is going to be so much. That's a quality of life, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many times. Because as someone who makes a lot of armor and weapons like you, like trying to get so many darn clumps of ice from what's his name, Pooh Bear,
Gosarag.
Gosarag.
Old man.
Like being able to farm extra stuff off of him would just be, oh man, I love it.
And the
so I think the first thing I'm going to do is come up with like routes and figure out where they are, find out if there's any versions, and then what's the optimal route in order to grab one of these suckers. So that's going to be a good thing to know.
That's the thing that I'm wondering. So you're assuming that we're still going to have like spear birds, right? They didn't show spear birds though, right? I don't think we saw any spear birds.
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. My memory does not. Because we were talking about that as well, right? Like, would they include it or not?
Yeah, because Spirit Birds is like Petal Ace is technically speaking Kimura technology. Just like let's just call it technology. But the Petal Ace is it's Kimura technology. Who knows if they would be using it? But I mean, considering that we're getting the Dango, is like, we're getting Tatara Steel.
I'm looking. Oh wait, I think I see one. I don't know if you have the trailer, but at 1 minute and 20 seconds, when they're zipping from, this could just be an effect. Actually, no, that's an effect. Never mind.
It's an effect. Okay, and I'm not even going to check. I trust.
Yeah, I don't see them in the trailers. So if they're there, they're purposely hiding them.
Yeah, so they're maybe they're seeing what the community reaction. No, they can't, because like 3 months in, it's like, oh yeah,
done.
let's decide where we're gonna put Spirit Birds 3 months away from release. I don't think that's how that works at all. They will. The thing
is there is, when they're running to the castle and it transitions from morning to night, there is a great Spirit Bird patch there for the warping. So if there are great Spirit Birds, then I would imagine that regular Spirit Birds are still
That's
around.
not great Spirit Birds, though.
It is.
That's a great Wirebug.
A great Wirebug. Why am I saying great Spirit Bird? That doesn't even exist.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
Great Wirebug.
That's great. Great Wirebugs. That still makes sense. I mean, even the morphed ones, they're Wirebugs. They're morphed Wirebugs.
Yeah.
So it's like Wirebugs are still there. Are the Spirit Birds still there? I don't know, because I think that they might have gotten a lot of feedback from a lot of people that were like, we don't want this. We want to eat the food and be good to go. I think that might have been the case. They might be getting rid of them, but I don't know. This is all.
It's interesting, because I don't. Oh wait, is that?
Gaijin's still just looking at the trailer nonstop, trying to.
No. I'm looking. I've got. There's a still from the Citadel that shows it shows 2 gold ones. But I don't know what that means. Only gold and ruby exist, or what? But yeah, you're right. I don't see random Spirit Bugs just hanging around the maps.
Birds. Yeah, but it's again, guys, it's important to mention this is just like speculation, and obviously they might just not be showing them to us on purpose. Maybe
they don't want to. Maybe they just don't want cluttered screenshots, and they just turned it off. Like we don't know.
So there's plenty of things that can happen. They might still be there. This is just like we're overanalyzing the trailer, and that's like one of the conclusions that you can kind of draw from it. But yeah, Morphed Wirebugs, they'll buff the mounting stuff, but do remember that, like we've meant, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast previously or not, but there was the option there. You and I were talking about this outside of the podcast when you saw the option for, what's it called? Wyvern riding. There was an option to like press A or sheath your weapon and press A or something like that, where you could, basically it implied. The conclusion was that potentially it might be optional for us to do Wyvern riding. So for all of you players out there that don't like Wyvern riding, you might be able to avoid it. Maybe. Big maybe on that. We cannot confirm nor deny anything, unfortunately. And then finally, we have something that gave me a mini heart attack. This gave me a mini heart attack. The marionette spider. Because I didn't realize it was a spider. I was like, oh no, it's the clutch claw all over again. I don't want this. But then it's like you realize that it's the marionette spider, and it's like, okay, so it's a limited thing. You can use it on the monster very much the same way that you use the puppet spider, and you get it to slam against something or potentially against another monster. So
Wallbangs.
Yeah, Wallbangs are back but it's a limited thing.
Yes. You know what? I'm the guy who at the beginning of every hunt goes immediately for the mounting spider. I know exactly where it is. The puppet spider. I grab it every time, and I love it.
Is there one in
really
every map?
Nice. Yeah. Actually, no. I don't think there is
Forest,
one in every map.
right? Flooded Forest doesn't have one. Yeah, I'm not sure. By the way, guys, it's just like I remember at one point when I was like optimizing my route through the Flooded Forest to pick up as many Spirit Birds as I could. I was like, I don't think there's a puppet spider here because I've never seen one. But
I love it. It's such a quality of life, and it's not broken because the timer of like how often you can use it is implemented, which means like you can't just spam it. And this one is a unique ability, so you can't even do this normally without the spider. So this is like a flat out, we're going to reward you for understanding the environment and grabbing stuff, which is awesome. And you can still probably whiff on this thing. It's not like guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like, like a mount is it just spits, and if it hits it, boom. But this one, it's like you got to think about the environment around you and stuff like that. It feels incredibly like it's going to be rewarding. And just there's something about throwing the darn spider in the face of Tigrex, and it latches on his face, and then you pull, and it runs him into that is so awesome.
Dude, imagine the strength this spider has, where it literally
oh my gosh,
it's like an alien face hugger, just like it's just like clutched onto your face, like it just like yeets you. That is one scary spider. I'd be scared of picking that spider up with that amount of like grip strength that you can actually yank it through its own silk and pull the monster towards you. That's a really beefy friggin' spider, dude. Yeah, you can throw it towards an obstacle most likely. You can also throw it against other monsters, I would imagine. But yeah, they also say there's many more types of endemic life in this game, so make sure to use them on your hunts. They link here to Monster Hunter Rise basic mechanics, which I'm not sure if this shows spirit bugs. No, this just see this particular page that they link to shows you Silkbind stuff, but doesn't show you spirit birds.
The conspiracy continues.
The conspiracy continues. But that, I think, is pretty much...
Maybe Malzeno's blood-sucking Giganox butterflies have killed all of them.
They killed the spirit birds?
Yeah, maybe they sucked them all up.
Could
make sense.
And maybe that's why Malzeno's so
flying
powerful.
around.
He's
got all the spirit bugs. He's got all the buffs.
You look at the status of Malzeno and it says there plus 10 defense, plus 20 attack, plus 50 HP.
Don't give that monster pedalace. Oh my god. You're in trouble.
What if you would drain the pedalaces and cause people to lose the buffs that they've been working on collecting? That'd be friggin' hilarious.
I don't think it would matter because we had that with the Chameleos. It's like you didn't notice any difference.
Yeah, you barely even noticed it. But that is like all of the information that we've gotten so far on Monster Hunter Rise.
Website and trailer, yeah. I'll start scourging for interviews and just articles that might go into a little bit more detail.
No, listen, you gotta go up to Capcom H quarters and tell them that they need to come on the podcast, and we will interview them on the podcast. Tell them that this is not live and that like we don't mind editing stuff out and whatever.
Hey, they could fix the wrong that we can get Suzuki-san on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Like, so all you got to do is go to Capcom HQ and
make it happen.
It's like it's not even a problem. Just go over there.
It's like, hey, I know you're really busy trying to finish the game, but can you come on our podcast and reveal some stuff?
Come to the no. Don't tell them to reveal. They don't have to reveal anything. We just want to chat. Just want to hang out.
Yeah, you're like, we'll suck it out of him like Malzeno.
Oh my God. Why'd you have to say it like that? Oh man. But yeah, it's unfortunate that there's not going to be crossplay, which had already been confirmed.
We also know like yeah, Rise runs on Nintendo's new server. It was the testing bed, and I gotta say on the Switch, I've never had it. It's impressively fast.
Yeah,
like the servers have always been really good.
Even just the loadings on Switch, like they're friggin' impressive. How fast the thing loads on Switch, it's like
magic.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm still indecisive. It's like I kind of feel like I don't want to play both. I'm so busy right now. I might only want to play one. And I'm very indecisive. I'm like, oh, dude, Switch version.
Because now because you played so much on the the PC that you have data that's actually substantial, but you also know that the Switch is going to be.
No, but it's like I have way more stuff. I have way more stuff on Switch. Like I have all the events done on Switch. I don't have all the events done on PC. There's so many things, and with the way that I'm pounding on Elden Ring right now, Jesus Christ, I don't know when I'm going to have time. Like Elden Ring has just been completely ate up every ounce of my time. It's the game that keeps on giving. It's insane. But
I guess the last I want to call out here in the trailer is just the music is, like always, it's fabulous. Like the new remix editions of the Proof of a Hero, the whole, just everything about the theme song. And I'm really curious if Makino-san's doing it or not. Because he did, like, you know, Dragon's Dogma, Alatreon, like all those like dark medieval fantasy type of stuff, or if they got someone new, because Capcom's proven time and time again, every single one of their composers that they work with have such range that you have no idea who it is at the start. But I just love the vibes I get from this. It's so good.
What if one of the Capcom collabs was a Dragon's Dogma collab, dude? Oh,
Dragon's Dogma
man.
2?
Oh man. It's like, so one of the things that I was talking about as well, because people were asking me what are the collabs that you like to see, and to be honest, I'd like to see some Nintendo collabs, but they're probably not going to do that because of the fact that it's also on Steam, right?
On PC. Yeah.
You don't think that they would want to do the same thing that they did with PlayStation on World, where you had Aloy exclusively for PlayStation? So there were some events that were exclusive to PlayStation, but they weren't on Xbox.
No,
you don't think they want that type of exclusivity anymore?
Yeah, I mean it's
because, like,
I mean, unless they're getting good payment from first party, it's not user friendly, right?
But it's like Nintendo might be trying to pay them an exposure. It's like, hey, you know, we're not paying you, but you can have a Link armor. You know, it's like, hey, you want that Link armor? That means that the people on PC are gonna suffer a little bit. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's like even something that they're discussing or not. But it's like, if you're asking me,
my faith in Nintendo has been shaken over the last few years, so I have no real positive outlook on a lot of stuff.
The thing is, if you're asking me which collabs I would like to see with like external companies, like that would be it. It's like, I want Link, I want Metroid, I want some Nintendo stuff. Yeah, whatever. Wait, Castlevania's Konami, dude. They did NFTs. Yeah. No, they're dead to me. All those people are dead to me, dude. They actually sold NFTs of Castlevania, dude. Like, Jesus freaking Christ.
Dark Souls. Elden Ring collab.
I think Elden Ring is too hard because Elden Ring is not on Switch.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I'd love to, but I don't think it makes sense, unfortunately.
Dragon's Dogma it is. Capcom, you heard.
Dragon's Dogma. Give us the Dragon's Dogma collab.
Make it happen.
And then announce Dragon's Dogma 2 or announce Dragon's Dogma 2, then give us the collab. It's just like, just give us Dragon's Dogma, dude.
It ships itself, I'm telling you.
It'd be cool to also get like a Final Fantasy 14 now that you're addicted to it. Wouldn't that be nice? Get a Final Fantasy 14 like collab going on. I think that'd be cool, but the game's not on Switch as well.
Yes.
But
yes.
It's again, there's limitations based on the platforms that the games are on.
Yeah, they don't want to do collaboration with something that's not on that platform. That's just weird.
Yeah.
There's no two-way benefit when you do that. So
yeah, so it's like, I think we're looking at more Capcom collabs mostly.
Yeah.
And yeah, did they do Resident Evil at all in this one? They didn't, did they?
In Rise? I don't think so.
Yeah. So
I really hope they do something because I love the one they did in Iceborne was so good.
So we may be looking at like Resident Evil, potentially Dragon's Dogma. We're definitely going to see Street Fighter. They're going to bring something out with Street Fighter. We didn't get a Ryu for Rise, so maybe they're saving Ryu for Sunbreak. Because we got Akuma in Rise, and then we got Ryu in Sunbreak. Which would be cool because you get Ryu and Akuma in the same game. And they're like doing a marketing push for Street Fighter 6, right?
Oh.
So yeah,
let's not go into
yeah, I've heard there's something weird going on about that, but I'm not going to ask.
No, I just the only thing I saw one of the worst logos I've seen in a very long time.
That was a stock logo, dude. It's so bad. It feels bad, dude.
Oh my god. Just kind of like, you just gotta smile and laugh it off. It's okay.
Oh, it feels bad. But
actually, Ghosts and Goblins is probably the most likely collab because it's it's gothic, it's medieval, it's Capcom.
Yeah, but we already have Arthur.
Yeah, but now we need like the Red Devil and stuff like that.
I mean, I don't know. I never played Ghosts and Goblins. It's not really my kind of game, so I don't know.
It's a tough ass little arcade game. I'll put it that way.
But just keep in mind, guys, if you want to be ready for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak when it comes out on the 30th of June, you have to at least complete Hub Quest 7, Serpent Goddess of Thunder, which is the final story quest that's not when you hit credits the first time, because the first time you hit credits is when you finish Village. Then there's still the Hub Quests. It's the last of the Hub Quests that you do that is story relevant, and then you can get started with Sunbreak. So if you're planning on jumping in on June 30th and you also want to have everything done, you'll want to at least get that particular quest done. But we're pretty hyped about it.
And they did mention that the final event quest that they're going to be releasing for Rise is going to be on March 25th, I believe, right?
Did they?
It's a detail that no one's talking about that they announced in the program, and I don't know why no one's talking about it. But
I mean, I barely noticed it if they talked about it.
So they said they're going to continue releasing Event Quest in the base game of Rise up until March 25th. At that point, afterwards, you can obviously download them and always have them.
So that's next week.
Yeah, and they had two thumbnails. Like they had Magna Malo and Mizutsune in one thumbnail, and then they had another one for another one. So, I'm on the lookout to see what that is because I've been stocking them. I have not touched Rise in a long time because I just want to build up a bunch of stuff so that 1 month out from release of Sunbreak, it'll be the perfect opportunity to go in there, get that muscle memory back, do the event quest. It'll be fun. So I'm excited.
That'll be cool. But that's all the new info. We're probably going to be receiving some new info as time passes by until we get to the release on June 30th.
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing people are like, oh, I wish they would have did this. I'm like, this is just the start of the marketing campaign, guys.
It's a cultural thing that everybody they want everything and they want it now. Like, for instance, an I'm is with Elden Ring. There's been a lot of videos that I've seen pop up, which is like how to get OP super early. And it's like, I'm barely halfway through the game. How are you guys even finding time to just be like, let's go get OP super early? Why would you want to do that in your first playthrough?
I'm gonna call out the Elden Ring content creator community. Probably a lot of friends as well. I'm gonna call it out. I think it is. Let me find the right word here.
You're like, I'm gonna call them out, but gently.
It's kind of funny. I see a lot of thumbnails like make 10 million an hour, make 20 million an hour, make 15 million an hour, make 3 million an hour, whatever, like runes.
It's algorithm
and everyone
stuff.
And the thing is, they're just going through, they're doing it like 3-4 times and saying, so if you were to calculate if you did this for 2 hours, you'd have 5 million. Get the damn 5 million to make the video, okay? Like, you don't get to sit there and say like, hey, I did this for 10 minutes and I made 100,000, so hey, you'll make this much in 1 hour. No. I mean, at that point, why don't you just say 1 billion runes? Well, if you did this for 1 year, you'd have 1 billion runes. It's like,
you want to know
cheating.
The funniest
you
thing?
You can't do that.
You want to know the funniest thing? And this is something that I'm extremely disappointed in with people. There's people buying runes on eBay. I mean, I realize to a certain extent it's funny, but it kind of depresses me. It depresses me that, like, because it reveals to me, right, that people's minds have been formatted in a way they're so used to pay-to-win mobile games that they get on a game that it's so easy to level up. It's so easy to do whatever the hell you want in this game. And you're like, no. I'm going to pull out my credit card and I'm going to buy my way through the game. It's like, oh no, why would you do that? So not only that, but on top of that, I received an email earlier today of a company telling me that they wanted me to do an ad for them where it's a company that sells runes. And I was
how do you even sell runes? Like, you can't give runes to people. Like, what do they do? Like, take over your data and grind it for you and give it back?
I have no idea. Maybe they're like,
that's so weird.
They're probably, what I'm imagining is they're probably duping boss runes. Because I mean, let's face it, you can easily dupe items in the game, as far as I can understand. You know, I don't know if you can or not, but I'm assuming you can because every Souls game has always had like some kind of an exploit that you can just like dupe items. It's always been a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm assuming that they're basically duping like boss souls.
We'll tell you the method or something. Yeah. Because I've seen videos like that. They're like 999. They're like, if you do this, then I will tell you how. It's like, ugh. Yeah, it's depressing.
I was just sad because like I'm playing this game that's basically magical, and it's one of the few complete games that you can get. There's just so much content in the friggin' thing, right? And people are just like destroying their experience by buying runes online. I was like, what are you doing? Stop.
Okay, well, since we've unofficially, I've drug us into the let's talk about what we're currently playing corner before we end the podcast. Let me mention about Elden Ring. So me and Yuna have been playing it quite a bit. She's romping house and New Game Plus right now. We did pretty much most of the stuff we wanted to do in the first playthrough, and she was really eager to get into the second. We've played for about 120 hours, I want to say. That's not all me. I mean, that's she's played the majority of it. And we're having a good time. But there is a boss. I won't tell you who or what. Like the last boss of Sekiro was tough. Like I spent probably 7 hours on that boss. Like that was legit mechanically difficult and frustrating, and I managed to get through it. There's a boss in this game that took us 17 hours to beat.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Well over 300 attempts.
Damn.
But we finally got it.
I can't wait to get there. I'm going to get my ass beat.
And then I threw down the controller and I said, New Game Plus, it's all you. I'm spent. But me and her took turns. Doing like endurance runs, like she'd go for an hour, I'd go for an hour. We'd be watching each other and trying to come up with strats. 17 hours, but we finally got it. But that that was ridiculously hard.
So,
as someone who beat the nameless king in Dark Souls 3 on like the 3rd attempt, like this took me 17 hours. So,
oof, I'm screwed then. Yeah. Especially with the weapon that I've been using. Like I love hammers. I feel like hammers in this game in particular feel even more gimped than in previous Souls games because of the reach.
I think you'd be fine. I think you'd be fine with a hammer because if you can manage to reach, like staggering is really powerful. In Elden.
I know that staggering is problem. The problem is that I can't, like, there's so many bosses, whereas like I'm standing literally in the boss's crotch and it misses. Like I literally got the boss's nutsack right on top of my forehead, and I'm just like, why can't I
please
hit?
Have those Monster? Can we get those Monster Hunter Freedom Unite hitboxes over here, please?
So that's been very frustrating, but but it's still really fun. Like I'm still just having a blast playing the game, and it's gonna take me like God knows how long with the editing.
You've got 3 months. You've got 3 months.
I know, but it's like the editing that I've been doing. You've seen the edit that I've done for episode 43.
Oh yeah, you put in a lot of love and effort.
That's going to be cool. But guys, that's going to be it for the podcast today. If you guys want to, if you guys enjoyed the podcast, hit the like button. If you want to follow us, then make sure to hit the subscribe bell notification icon. Links to Gaijin stuff in the description box below. We'll see you guys in the next one. Go
very
ahead.
Uncharacteristically, I'm going to do a shout out because I've been away from YouTube for a few months, so like the algorithm doesn't think I exist anymore because I kind of don't. But if you want, even if you're not a fan or if you're not familiar with Final Fantasy 14, I think the video of our wedding was incredibly fun to watch, and it was fun to edit, and it was just full of fun shenanigans. So go check out my channel. I don't know if notifications are even going out because again, YouTube doesn't think I exist, but we've got a video there that's quite funny. That
I will. I will hopefully remember to put that link in the description. If I don't, you guys in the comment section call me out, and I will edit it with the link in there. These guys can go check that out. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe.
Happy hunting.